Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started with the lesson today, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto the elect. All right. Now, in today's lesson, we're going to be going into the news. All right, as you can see here by Fox News, and I'm on TikTok. All right, as you can see, breaking. United States and Israel have attacked Iran. All right, the United States and Israel have attacked Iran. All right, and this is biblical prophecy playing out before our eyes. All right, now, and this is not, just to make a quick disclaimer, this is not World War III happening. All right, but with this event happening, all right, today, this is a major buildup to, all right, World War III happening. All right, and World War III will happen in the Middle East, as the scriptures call it, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, so let's play these videos real quick that I have, and we're gonna get some precepts, and Lord willing, you brothers and sisters are edified.
Confirmation that the U.S. is participating in these attacks. We just got confirmation that the U.S. is participating in these attacks. The first word that came across the wire services was that these were Israeli-only attacks, Israeli preemptive attacks against the Iranians. But the U.S., Lucas, we are told, is participating, and that's no great surprise.
No, and officials told me the same thing, John, at the start of this broadcast, that this was a combined U.S. and Israeli strike against Iran.
We just got confirmation.
Let's play this one real quick.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay.
So there you have it. All right, you have this war, all right, between the United States, all right, the United States, Israel versus Iran. All right, as you see here, this video, you see Iran striking back. All right, as you see, Iranian ballistic missile hits a U.S. Navy base. All right, so it's a back and forth now. So it's war breaking out, all right, between America, Israel, and Iran. And again, this is prophecy. All right, and this is just going to build up into the great prophecy of World War III. All right, so let's get the scriptures now. All right, this is Matthew 24. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Okay, so this is Matthew 24:3. It says, "And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately." Who's the him? All right, the Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right, the disciples came unto Yahweh Shai, all right, privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" So the disciples were looking, basically, asking their Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, what are the signs we have to look out for to know that you're coming back? All right, to know, all right, when the end of this world is coming. All right, now we know that this end of the world isn't talking about the end of the whole earth, as if the earth is just going to explode. All right, because we know, according to Ecclesiastes 1:4, it says, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." So the earth is going to still be here. The earth is going to abide forever, as the scriptures say. Okay, but going back, we're going to really get into this word world here. All right, what this world is speaking of. Matthew 24, again, "What shall be the sign of thy coming?" Right, they were basically asking for the signs. And as we read down, Yahweh Shai is going to tell them the signs to look out for. All right, and that's what we're looking out for today. And we're seeing it play out today. All right, this is how we know that our Lord Yahweh Shai is coming. His coming is nigh at hand. All right, but keep reading. It says, "What shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" Now, this word world here is not talking about the whole entire earth or the whole, all right, entire world. All right, as you would think if you're reading it in English, you have to go into the Greek. All right, and the Greek here is aeon. All right, get straight to the point, outline the biblical usage, a period of time and age. All right, and this is the period of time of age of Esau, Edom's rulership. All right, this is what the disciples were looking out for. This is why they were asking, because they were looking for the end of Esau, Edom's, all right, age of rulership on this earth. Because remember, during that time, they were under Roman persecution. All right, they were under Roman authority. All right, who ruled the Roman Empire? Edomites, the so-called white man. The same thing today in America. All right, the revived Rome. We're under Edomite rulership. All right, Edomites have control over the whole entire earth. You see, and basically the signs that we're seeing is showing that Esau Edom's world is coming to an end. His rulership, his age of rulership is coming to an end. Okay, so this is also what the disciples were looking forward to, the end of Esau Edom's age of rulership on this earth. All right, now we're going to get into verse 4. This is when Yahushua is basically telling them, look, this is what to look out for. It says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. All right, and we see that happening. All right, brothers do videos on it. You just got to keep up. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is what we're seeing. All right, with America, the wars that's hitting the press right now. You know, the wars that how should I say it? I'm gonna keep reading. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, the end is not yet. This doesn't mean that we're gonna be delivered, the next day. No, all right, things still have to take place. All right, it's a gradual build up to prophecy, but we know, with this event happening, between the U.S. and Israel, striking Iran, we know that this is a major step towards prophecy being fulfilled of World War III. All right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, this war with this happening, this can lead to Iran's allies joining in on the battle, joining in the war. All right, and this is just basically a whole domino effect. All right, it's going to cause all-out war in the Middle East. Okay, and this is what we want. This is what the scriptures say would happen. Okay, and Yahushua said to look out for these things, because by looking at these things, you know that I'm coming soon. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right. I recently did a video going into Mexico. There's all-out war going on over there between the cartel, all right, and the authorities of Mexico. All right, now and then also you have Pakistan. Pakistan declares open war with Afghanistan as they trade deadly strikes. Let's play this video.
Breaking overnight in a region where American troops were stationed for 20 years, Pakistan has just declared open war on Afghanistan, even bombing military targets in Kabul after the Taliban attacked its border. This has been a long simmering conflict, but the chaos threatens to further destabilize a region where terrorist groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda are trying to remobilize. Breaking overnight.
So it's pretty clear that we are in the times of war. We're not in a time of partying, getting a G-Wagon, jigging a car. We're in a time of war. We are in a time of prophecy, man. All right, prophecy is finna get ready to be fulfilled, man. The ultimate prophecy being when them nuclear missiles hit, man. All right, and Yahushua coming back. This is what we're looking out for. We have to stay in our watch. So when these days come upon us, we won't be caught off guard, because we've been watching. All right, again, we watching. All right, the U.S. military base, we're watching and reporting on these things. U.S., all right, and Israel, again, U.S. and Israel have attacked Iran, man. This is a major stepping stone towards World War III. It's not World War III itself, but it can lead to that. It's going to lead to that. Okay? So, let's see. Verse 7 says, for nation shall rise against nation and a kingdom against kingdom. Right, we're seeing that. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Again, we're seeing that. And it's only going to ramp up. Okay, it's only going to get worse. There's going to be more famines. There's going to be more pestilences, sicknesses, more earthquakes in diverse places, many parts of the world. All right, as it says in NLT. So let's get Jeremiah 50, because it's prophecy that that Israel, the small hats, would draw America into war, into world war. So let's get into that. Let's prove that. Let's get Jeremiah. Let's see, Jeremiah 50 and 45. We know where brothers that have been keeping up, where I'm finna go. This is a house a household precept when it comes down to, the World War, going into World War III prophecy. So let's get Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. It reads, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Babylon." What is Babylon today? Babylon is America today. All right, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, again, the Babylonians. "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." Who is the least of the flock? All right, the small hats in that small land of Israel. They're considered the least. All right, it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Right, who? The Babylonians, the Americans. All right, America. They're going to draw America into war. All right, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right. So eventually the Lord is going to destroy both America and Israel. But unlike America, Israel will be rebuilt back up again. America is going to be completely destroyed, never rebuilt back up again. All right, as Isaiah 34 chapter as the Isaiah the 34 chapter goes into. All right, how once the nuclear missiles hit America, all right, it's not going to be rebuilt back up again. All right, there ain't going to be no people, dwelling here. It's only going to be desert creatures dwelling in the land of America. All right. But again, unlike America, Israel going to be rebuilt back up again. All right. But let's get Revelation 11. All right. So this is going to lead into World War III. And World War III is also prophesied in the scriptures. And we're going to get into that. Let's get Revelation 11 and verse 14. It reads, "The second woe is past." What is that? The World War II. "And behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Right. And really, the first World War was prophesied going into Revelation, the 9th chapter. I'm not going to go into it. That's a whole, breakdown in itself. But going back into verse 14, it says, "The second woe is past," World War II, "and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." What is woe? Let's go into this word woe. All right, because war is woe, right? Let's get into it. Woe, alas, grief, a primary, an exclamation of grief. And that's what war is. War is, you got a saying, war is hell. A great world war it brings nothing but grief, lamentations, woes, death, bloodshed. You see? So this third war is coming. This third world woe is coming. All right, and it's coming quickly. And this is a build up to it. It's showing, that it's finna get ready to come. Let's get Joel. All right. Get into the prophecy of the Valley of Jehoshaphat. This is Joel 3 and 1. It says, "For behold, in those days," what days? These days that we're in. It says, "For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," meaning the Lord is going to take us out of captivity. All right, he's going to restore us, the nation of Israel, back again, all right, in their land and as a prominent power on the earth. All right, let's read that in NLT. It says, "At the time of those events, says the Lord, when I will restore the prosperity of Judah and Jerusalem." You see, verse 2 in KJV, it says, "I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat." All right, and what is that? That's the Middle East. All right, the Levant region. That's where World War III will take place. The Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Lord is going to basically work the minds of the kings of these nations, to basically to go to war. All right, let's get this word Jehoshaphat. All right, in the Hebrew. All right, in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat. All right, which means Yahweh judgment. Don't look at this definition right here. Jehovah has judged. That's not right, because Jehovah is not the name of our Lord, man. All right, it's Yahweh. All right, it's Yahweh's judgment. All right, because that's where the Lord would judge the nations there. That's why it's called the Jehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment. All right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Let's go into this word plead. All right, this isn't a plead where you just begging somebody. No, this plead, all right, in the Hebrew is Shaphat, which means to what? To judge, govern, vindicate, punish. That's what the Lord is going to do to these nations. He's going to punish them for what they've done to his people. It says, "And plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." It says let's get straight to the point. Let's go down to verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And that's what the Lord, that's why the Lord is stirring the minds of the kings of the other nations to what? To prepare for war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right. Russia. All right. You got Iran, Russia, China. All right. All these, allies of Iran. All right. They're finna get ready to join in on the battle because America jumped in. You seen there's going to be a whole big domino effect and all our wars going to take place in, all right, the Middle East, man. And I got before I did this lesson, I got a notification here. It says, news break. All right, explosions rock Dubai. Bahrain and Israel after Iran vowed revenge over U.S. Blitz as Middle East on brink of all-out war. What is that? World War III. Hey, all-out war is finna get ready to break out, man. All right, and we're reading it here. Proclaiming this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into pruning hooks, into beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. Right. So instead of putting the money into agricultural, farming, stuff that's going to help benefit the people, look, they're not doing that no more. Look, they're now putting their money into what? Military defense, weaponry, missiles, to be able to go to war. It says, let the weak say I'm strong. And that's what basically Iran is saying. Look, Iran wasn't considered a strong nation, but now Iran, now that they have missiles, now they're on their own par with what? Israel and all these other nations. They're stronger now. Now they're saying that they're strong because they have the weaponry to back it up. And they got the allies too, Russia. All right. This is what we're seeing. You got Iran bucking up against America now. They're fighting against America. Iran hit a Navy base. Iran hit a Navy base with a ballistic missile. So it's war. It's war, man. It's back and forth. You see? Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat again. Where's that? The Middle East. All right, the Levant region. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right, that's where the great judgment is going to happen to all these heathen nations. While they fighting, the Lord going to come back and destroy them, man. All right, plain and simple. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Right, all the wickedness of these nations for what they done to Israel, guess what? It's overflowing. All the wickedness that they done upon the earth is overflowing, and the Lord is finna get ready to reap. All right, and that's going to mainly happen in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man, and in America. It says multitudes in the valley of decision again. All right, the Middle East, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision, man. All right, and we know that the day of the Lord is not a good day. The day of the Lord is full of lamentations, mournings, woe, death, bloodshed. You see war. Does not the scripture say that the Lord is a man of war? Exodus 15:4 or 3. All right, around there. You see, matter of fact, let's get this real quick. And I'll probably end it there. Here we go. Zephaniah 3:8. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day I rise up to the prey. Right. So the Lord is telling his people, us us believers that's patiently waiting on him to wait for him until he rise up to the prey. We're not supposed to be taking up arms for ourselves, grabbing M4s and making a militant group, and coming up against the authority. No, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to wait till the Lord deliver us until he destroy our enemies. All right. It says that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations. Again, the same thing's being said in Joel 3. He's going to gather the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. It says, gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right. So the Lord is going to completely wipe out the nations over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat by way of thermonuclear missiles. All right, a whole lot of bloodshed is going to happen in the Middle East. All right, and the apostles, all right, of Great Millstone have always been saying this from the beginning, man. All right, since they came on YouTube, even before they came on YouTube, they've been saying this. All right, so that's how you know who the Lord is dealing with, man. All right, so that was pretty much it, man. All right, again, going back. All right,
We just got confirmation.
the United States and Israel have attacked Iran, man. A call lawyer Mayahu Bashmiyahu Shai. All right, prophecy. All right, is we see the build up to prophecy being fulfilled, man. All right, but with that, just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto the elect. Shalom.